What's going on? It's Justeeni here. Is Hoodrick the most no-skill tribe in the game? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But I will say, they're definitely one of the simpler tribes, at least on the surface level. I have a game here that kind of highlights kind of the main game plan of Hoodrick. It's on normal lakes, which I feel like is one of their best maps. And it's against a pretty high elo Imperious player. So let's get right into things. So you start pretty normal expansion. I go ahead and get hunting, level up my capital. I have very nice resources, as you can see, so no need for getting forestry or anything like that. Able to upgrade and get my first explorer. It ends up having to backtrack a bit, but it does meet Imperious. And I can see they have a vet sword, not really expanding much because they grabbed the rune instead, because they got that on turn 3. But I'm going to try to deny them the villages that they're trying to go for. They go back with the vet sword though, but I can deny them this village, and they're very slow to expand. So I'm going to take advantage of that a little bit. I'm kind of like training a lot of units. And I can even get a siege here, so they have to unsiege that or else they just lose the city, which they barely unsiege. Now I'm taking the ruin. So already one thing with Hoodrick is their start's pretty good. I'm actually the one initiating here. And it's even harder to attack into archers than defending against them. You can win a lot of games with just early game archers, honestly, like against randoms. Like, of the few games that I played with these settings, well, actually all of the games, except for this one, didn't get past the early game, where opponents literally just couldn't handle archer spam. It's pretty effective, and I feel like nobody talks about it. It's like really good. I get climbing rune, which sucks, but oh well. I can get the lighthouse, upgrade my capital. And yeah, Imperious now has riders, they have a proper defense set up, and they might be ready to counterattack, so I'm just moving my archers back. Goes in a bit of a silly direction, but I do reveal a nice amount of territory. I don't get the lighthouse, but oh well. Now they start to be a little meanie. They siege my city. I can unsiege just fine. Spiritualism rune, which is garbage, but you know, it is what it is. Maybe I can find a use for it at some point in the game. And so kind of after having a really nice early game, see, Imperious is pretty quick to develop, but I'm moving on to phase 2 of this whole thing, which is math and markets. So you're going to see me set up my sawmills, and I kind of plan my markets in advance. This is a 24-hour game, so I have the luxury of being able to do that. I can deny them this village for one more turn, just to be very annoying, and with the veteran archer too. I go ahead and get fishing, because it can get me a quick giant. And I can use that Park of Fortune if I'd like. Then goes on my capital, another giant there. So, not doing too bad in terms of giants. The opponent is on the water first. That's kind of one weakness of Hoodrick. They tend to be very slow in the water, but it's fine. Especially with all this land I do have to work with, I'm doing pretty well for myself. And still, they haven't gotten on this village yet, so I feel like I'm doing quite well. I get writing, I'm setting up for trade, things are looking nice. I get a workshop down here because I don't care about like grabbing the lighthouse or anything. It's not like I'm getting Eye of God, ever. They step on the village with a giant because they really don't want to get kicked off. Another giant, but they can't really attack into me at all, except for by water. I get an explorer now, just to see what's going on. And yeah, the opponent's going to be able to expand a bit faster than me, but I can take this city at least. There might be one more city over here. So all things considered, assuming there's a city here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cities. The opponent has like, I think 10. You guys can count if you want. Now I'm going for roads again, trying to get to trade. I've got a catapult just for defense, just trying to make sure everything's secure before I go in for the greed, because I know the opponent will want to attack me as much as possible when I do get trade. Now I get it, first market goes down. And yeah, my economy is not too impressive, 40 star per turn by turn 16, but I spent a lot of the early game being a bit aggressive, and a lot of, before getting trade, playing defensive. And now my markets are just going to quickly improve. I get a wall, because why not? I can afford to do that. And the opponent needs to attack me if they want a chance. Because while they do have math and roads, they aren't setting up their markets right now. In fact, they're definitely a ways from it. They don't even have their sawmill set up. They're capturing cities, they're expanding, but yeah, they just have catapults and no attack. And if the opponent isn't attacking you, that's a good sign. And if the opponent is attacking you, you're Hoodrick, you can defend. And this is the thing, is it's a really tough problem for the opponent to solve. I'm getting another border growth. I'm just going to continue to play defense. And what do you do against this? It's not simple. Not at all. Another border growth, setting up more markets shenanigans. Another wall. This is actually going to prove to be a very useful wall here because this is my weakest point. So I just have like 2 walls in addition to like border growth to take away road space. They get a bomber here, taking advantage of me being a little over aggressive maybe. So they can take out some units that way. Very well played by them. They get a juggernaut in the water. But still, I simply have markets and the opponent doesn't. Not yet at least, but this eco advantage is going to spiral absolutely out of control if they don't do anything, and I haven't even maxed my markets. There's still... I just haven't even placed most of my markets, and remember, I have spiritualism. I can continue to improve my economy, and improve my economy I will. Continuing to develop, we're getting close to 70 star per turn, now we're at 70 star per turn. Going beyond, using spiritualism, getting another giant down here. 73 star per turn, the opponent has like, I'm pretty sure 40-ish at this point. So not 72. They're very behind, and again, where's the attack? They get a nice border growth here, stealing some land. They get another giant. They have catapults and bombers, they're prepared to defend. They want me to attack, but I'm just not going to. Just gonna sit back, wait for them to attack. If they attack me, great. If they don't, great. You're kind of in a bit of a win-win situation because you're really good at defending and you're really good at playing greedy. And that's a really devastating combination. The opponent's finally going for this attack. Again, attacking this critical point here. This is where all my water troops are going to be funneled out. They also commit this giant, which is gonna die. Bye-bye, giant. But I have enough juggernauts. I'm gonna just start playing defense. I get chivalry. Pretty late to the party with chivalry, but the opponent doesn't have it at all, so... not really late, I guess, because it's all relative anyway. They go bomber, kind of destroying my giant. A little rude, but yeah, I have more where that came from, so... I don't actually have any night chains on the catapults and bombers, but I can unsiege here just fine. Siege is very scary. They had to commit a ton for this siege, like, because it's a walled defender. So now their giant's gone, and it should be even easier to defend the re-siege, and harder for them to re-siege. That doesn't dissuade them. They attack again. They really need this to hold. But like I said, it's going to be even easier to re-siege than last time. They're really trying to defend and attack. They want to keep these catapults safe. They're doing a good job, like Zone of controlling with the giants. But of course, I'm not having any of it. Chain. And again, the opponent just could not punish my economy advantage, and like, yeah, they tried an attack. Unfortunately, it was too little, too late. They had like some good naval control, but I'm gonna be able to quickly take it for myself at this point. I'm even moving some stuff around to improve my markets further, because why not? I have spiritualism and chivalry, So I could just do whatever. And the game doesn't end up being too interesting because the opponent actually can't do anything. They're up a city here, but yeah, I have control over the entire game at this point. I have double their economy pretty much. So things happen. I eventually get a quadism, get a border growth here to just stuff rammers, and I have tons of knights. They can't steal with everything. They resign the game. And yeah, and this whole thing with Hoodrick, you can do this almost every game. It's really that easy. You just play Hoodrick, defend or attack with archers in the early game, grab math, grab markets, win. Yeah. Highly recommend trying it out a little bit. Again, it's very good on lakes. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like and sub, and have a good one.